Screw it. That's a replay buffer. Screw it, we're here. We're live. Welcome to the stream. Replays are not available apparently, but we are here. We are live, and we are with Divine. Or do you prefer Divine? Divine Games?
Divine Games, whatever is easier to say.
Yeah, that's it. Right then, it's easier. Divine, we're here. So we got myself, Dan Was, we got Songs of Rays, and we got Divine here, and we're going to talk about everything Outriders, past, present, and future.
Oh yeah, looking forward to this.
We've got so there should be a link to Divine's YouTube in the description. So head over to there to anyone that's watching this either now or later. And do you want to just tell the people about yourself a little bit now? Who are you? What do you do?
Well, right now, just doing YouTube and stuff, trying to make... my main focus is on Outriders, just creating build videos, like whatever is just fun to use, effective, and I try to make them like a little bit original, but you know, it's kind of hard as the game gets older and older and people are making more and more videos.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the same case with that. I think we're getting to the point now where even if we wanted to do like build ideas, they're guaranteed pretty much most of them, like 99% of the time. There's other channels that have already covered something to that kind of extent, haven't they? So
there's not too many other that haven't been done. Like I say, it's there's got to be something out there that someone's not thought of. For example, the minigun build. Or the minigun bug build, should I say? So
yeah, exactly.
Things that you can come across. But yeah, it's great to see that you are still trying with those builds. Yeah,
why should Divine's take on the minigun? To be fair, I was really impressed with the numbers that he was actually able to put out with that. I mean, we just purely looked at it from like a weapon damage mod kind of perspective, but I think Divine was able to without like Claymore torrents or Shadow Comet or anything like that. I'm pretty sure I was seeing 6-figure damage numbers for each individual bullet, if I remember right.
Yeah, the thing is that I don't know why, but it was just so buggy that it worked in a good way for you. Like, I would throw out my cryo turrets, like my minigun, I could probably I was hitting like around 100,000, I would say, like somewhere between 50 to 100,000, maybe a little bit more per shot. But then my cryo turrets, sometimes they would bug out and they would just start hitting for 400,000 per shot. So I'm like, okay, this didn't go as planned. This went even better. But now, the minigun is actually a viable option. So I loved it. That bug you guys found, that was amazing because the minigun was always my favorite skill.
You definitely loved it, didn't you, as well, Chris? You were using it in the story mode as well.
Yeah, I love the minigun in the story modes. Yeah, but it didn't really feel that competitive like when we first started doing like the CT. Like, and back when we had like the time trial element kind of side of things, you knew it wasn't really going to be like that competitive for
not
gold
top tier
or anything like that. I mean, it was great for surviving. Yeah. It really was. And like it was almost impossible to ever get knocked down using the minigun. But it was just the sheer slow walking speed. It was just like, why is it this bad? Why is the rocket launcher, which looks almost as big as the minigun, I'm able to sprint and roll and all that? Why am I able to do that, but I can't do that with the minigun? To like a little bit, and it was just kind of sucked a little bit. I hope they do change that in the future. I really do.
Yeah, I had like the thing was the campaign. It was amazing. It was fun. It worked for the earlier CTs. I was like, oh, okay, so this is like, the meta over here. This big minigun. Then as you go later on, you're kind of like, okay, this is not the way to go. This is not working. I'm not getting gold anymore. My guy moves like a turtle. I can't die, but I can't finish the pod rescues. Yeah. So seeing that bug build you guys made brought it like back to life a little bit, just because it's the minigun. It's never been the number one pick, but now it's like it's fun, it's usable and stuff. You can actually clear some enemies and also support your team.
Definitely.
The best part about
we've seen a lot of people reaching out for that kind of build as well, which is great. But sorry, go on, Dan.
I say the best part about the finding out the bug was that the developers went, we're not even mad. In a way, I think they were happy that we found something like that in the game, and that they're not rushing to fix it, whether it be fixed in World Slayer, who knows, quite possibly. But also that they actually wanted the minigun to work in this way as well.
Yeah.
They actually wanted to have it like this, but they found it far too buggy to implement. But it's quite funny that a bug has implemented it. So, yeah, glad that we found it. Though, too far. I remember when I found it, I was just for a laugh making a minigun build and running through, and I saw Claymore come down. I went, "Did I just see that? Nah. Carry on shooting. That's definitely Claymore coming down." And then
Start procking all the mods. Like, I've made a discovery. Everyone must know.
Yeah, so it was then a case of right, restart the level or try a different level, try it again. And I couldn't initially get it to work. I thought, what did I do differently? And there's obviously the activating a door whilst having it equipped, or activating a switch whilst having it equipped. And it was from there, yeah, just beautiful. Trying to work out what could work well.
And it was also if you have it activated and you switch your weapons, like if you just open up your inventory and equip the other weapon.
Yes.
When I saw that, I was like, that is perfect. You can just throw it on wherever you are in the map. Like, you don't need a door. Like, you can just have your weapon mods going.
Yeah, once we saw that,
specific part, do you?
Yeah, me personally, I saw that on Cloud Plays. He did a video on it, and as soon as I saw that, I thought, wow, like that makes it 10 times better, 10 times easier. You can do it at any point in the game, as long as obviously you're quick enough and you're not going to die. But yeah, brilliant. 100%.
Yeah, that definitely inspired some ideas. I was playing around with it. Oh, like I said, I loved it. Seeing cryo turrets hit for like 400k and just melt brood mothers. And I'm just standing there moving like a turtle. I'm like, okay, I can just watch as this all goes down. I don't have to do anything.
I love the fact that I've done, because obviously we did the easiest way to do by the storm, and the fact that minigun, what's his name? Yaga literally cannot do anything to stop you. And the Reavers can't do anything. They literally, like, the Reavers are my one thing in this game that I absolutely hate the most, because of how much stun they do, and the fact that by the time you've rolled, they've then hit you again, and it's almost like stun lock in a way.
Yeah.
And you can just put out a minigun, and the Reavers just become one of the easiest enemies to actually take out in the whole game just because of it. The other thing is the only thing that I'm really upset about, and I understand why it doesn't, but I'm really upset about, is the fact that you can't get critical hits with it. Because there was something about the fact that I could have... I really wanted to have 2 weapon mods where I could get a kill with a minigun, I could have Embalmer's Rage on there, and not even for the increased damage, just the fact that I could go around with like Winter's Blast from the Iceberg sniper rifle and just do like area of effect.
Just freeze
everything. And it just something about that just really brought a smile to my face. But unfortunately, it just doesn't work. And it just can't get it.
But if you can get something to work once on it, then the possibilities are endless. But I've got a quick question here from Brick City Deadman. When are we getting new DLC? This year.
DLC, well, the rumors are rumors, quote unquote rumors. Everyone's saying like the April 1st of April and stuff. So
it would make sense. But
we've had nothing solid.
Yeah.
Being ambassadors, it would be nice for us to have some inside information for you, but we don't. And that's the God's honest truth. Unfortunately.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up, Dan, because obviously, Devon, you've seen quite a bit of growth. You've seen quite a lot of success actually with Outriders. I've seen quite a few of your videos hit 5 figures, and which is absolutely amazing. Congratulations for that and all that. But are you pushing for ambassadorship yourself? Is it something you'd like? Is it something you're not necessarily interested in? Are you just looking to be able to grow in YouTube? Or what's the goal? I'm just curious. What? It's more of a personal question from me, really.
No worries. Well, right now, so I guess I'll go with the first one with the Outriders ambassadors. I actually sent them an email. Like, I was asking, like, hey, could I, join your group and stuff? I'd love to make more videos on like future content, like pre-release stuff. But I think I was at 800 subscribers at the time, and the minimum requirement was 1,000. And they just never really got back to me. So I guess, I wasn't popular enough to join the group. And I think I'll probably send them another email now, because I think, or I hope, maybe they'll respond this time, be like, hey, we see you're past 1,000 subscriber goal. Now we could let you in the group, give you some little insider information. Then, obviously make more videos on Outriders content. Because as it is, it's getting more and more harder to make content on it. when there's nothing coming out for the game. And then my goal for, I guess, YouTube in general, creating content, just keep on just constantly improving my stuff, making my videos better, smoother, making the information come off quicker. Like, I just want to improve in like every aspect. Like, obviously, you know, gain more views, more subscribers, but like, I want to earn that. I want to be able to have good enough videos where people look at this and like, hey, yeah, you know, like I want to follow this guy. Definitely. And if I jump to another game, like I tried jumping to Rainbow Six Extraction.
Just about to say, I didn't see that yesterday that you've got that, and I got another question about that afterwards.
Yep. No worries. But I tried jumping to other games and stuff because, you know, I want to branch out. I want to expand on the games I'm playing. But I did struggle with that game because my videos are more informative. Like I make build videos. It's like how to put this build together to do this damage.
Yeah.
But with Rainbow Six Extraction, that's more of a casual and fun game. So not that many people are really searching for or caring about like information on that game because they kind of just play it just for fun, shits and giggles and stuff. So that's where I kind of struggled with that there. But I'm hoping when Elden Ring comes out, which is like a Dark Souls game, I'm going to make videos on that there. Like I have a whole series lined up. If obviously, you know, this is all ifs, the first couple of videos work out well.
Sounds
good.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. I mean, we kind of pushed through the. I mean, well, granted, we when we first started, we were like about 100 subs, like in Outriders anyway. But we managed to push through.
117 we're on when we first started.
Something like that.
April,
we were getting like 8 views or something like that.
117, and then.
But, we managed to push through that. I guess determination really does shine through when it comes to YouTube. You know, sticking with something long enough. I mean, we're starting to see another channel, Ben Lee Gaming. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Good friends of the Full Measure and all that, and he was doing Outriders stuff, and then he broke away a little bit just to be able to go on to Lost Ark, which is another interesting game that's going to be coming out in a week's time.
I think it's Thursday. I think it's Thursday.
And you know, absolutely fair play to him. He's really dedicated himself to that, and he's starting to see thousands of like views on his videos. He's getting over 100 viewers in his streams as well, things like that. Just because he's just stuck with something and just carried on going. And I think that's the thing when it comes to YouTube. It's just not to let things kind of like get you down. It's, you know, if you have enough determination to be able to stick with a game that you enjoy, it eventually kind of sees through in a way to the community, I think.
Oh no, of course. I would say the main things are, yes, determination. Like you have to keep at it. Just because a video did poorly, like you can't be like, okay, what's the point of me posting another video? It's going to do bad. Like you need to keep posting videos, working on it. But the thing is, you also need to realize, like, you need to look back at your videos and say, what did I do good and what did I do wrong? And then you see all the stuff you did good. You know, you're like, okay, I'll grab this and I'll put it into my next video as well. Then you see all the stuff you did bad, and then you kind of just ask yourself or figure out, why didn't people like this part? You know, why do people click off of it? Why do people say this part is bad? You try to figure that out, make it better, and then apply that to the next video. And then you kind of just keep doing those steps over and over and over. And also, as you play the game, like with Outriders, you need to play it and figure out, so what are people interested in this game? What do people really care about? And the main thing with Outriders is creating builds, creating either very effective builds or very fun builds. Or, you know, if you can, both in one is like, you know, that's the golden thing. You get both in one. That's like the main thing, finding the key aspect in that game you're playing and then making videos on it. And then keeping that determination of, you know, constantly posting videos about that and also improving as you go along. Like you could look at some of my older videos, you'll look at them and be like, this is so boring, this is so bad and stuff, and all that kind. But then if you look at some of my more recent ones, you'll see a huge steps of improvement along the way. Yes, it does take time, and that's where patience and determination comes into play.
Good shout. I like that. I mean, well, Dan said he had a question about Rainbow Six Extraction.
Yeah. So, just a quick one, really. So I think we've been really enjoying it. We played it a little bit. It's quite a fun game. As I say, if you did ever want to do anything, like I say, it could be some good footage for a stream or something. If you ever want to play as a group, we're down for it, I think.
Oh yeah.
I'm speaking for Chris here, but I can't see why it wouldn't be.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a three character game. It's not four, is it?
I think it's
is
four. I believe it.
No, it's 3.
Oh, is it
I thought
3?
it was 3.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah.
Ignore me.
and we've only done footage in 2-man kind of like groups. So yeah, I suppose it would be quite nice to be able to see like if there's actual team compositions that actually pay off in that game. So yeah,
if you guys need a third man, we can definitely do it. I've been trying to do like the hardest difficulty and stuff, and as you may think,
I've seen it.
Pretty hard.
It's nasty.
We found it hard from the start, didn't we? Just like when you first get into it, you don't know what you're doing. You hop into it, and I think we always go for whatever the highest difficulty is available, because why would you try anything less?
I think it's more of the case that you're the host, and therefore I don't get a say, and you always choose the hardest difficulty.
Yeah, if I'm not raging at a game for dying all the time, I'm not enjoying it. So
that is very true. That is very true. If I don't complain about how bad this game is and then start up another game 10 seconds, like start up another round 10 seconds later, I don't truly enjoy this game. That is very true. I've never heard that before, but that is spot on.
Perfect. Well, I guess in that case, I suppose we should really dive into the Outriders questions, I suppose, in that sense. So similar to, obviously, we kind of asked these questions to Dake last week. I'm kind of curious for your views as well, because, I think everyone does kind of have their own kind of perspective when it comes to Outriders as it's currently been, how it's been since it launched, and kind of how it's going to go, or how people kind of want to see it going forward in the future. So, in terms of, like, obviously in the future, in everyone's minds, how the end game will change with World Slayer. What is it that you'd be interested in seeing it actually come in? We've had people suggest things like more men, so like 6-man raids. We've had like horde modes. Is there anything that kind of takes your fancy? Something that you'd like to see come into Outriders?
There's so many things. Every time I've been on stream and people are asking me what about Outriders? So many things have came to mind. First off, better servers. I think that is the number one priority for them is better servers in online play. Because even if they add new game modes, if you can't enjoy those new game modes because of lag and server issues, no one's really gonna care to continue to play the game. They're just gonna be okay, this is the same thing. I can't actually fully enjoy the game. Another thing, yes, new game modes like a horde mode. That would be amazing. The game has always been about speed running. How fast can you clear this level?
Yeah.
But if you were to add a horde mode where it's endless waves of enemies, and that could become a new competitive thing. What is the highest round you and your team can survive up to?
Definitely.
So then that would change up the entire build meta. So basically, your builds would be not just doing as much damage as fast as possible, but doing a good amount of damage and being able to receive a good amount of damage. So you need to kind of find that middle point of being tanky and doing damage.
It'd even bring in the support class kind of idea with it as well, as you could possibly have a trickster dealing the damage. You got your devastator taking the damage, and then even have something like the technomancer where you can actually get those heals out to people, or you could have a second trickster with the shield dome to slow down enemies and bullets, etc. So it does bring in a whole new dynamic there, where you've got to think what's your teammates using and what do you need to use to support them.
Exactly. It would be such a good game mode, because not only is that whole aspect good, but they kind of already have it set in place for that. When you enter a new area, enemies kind of just jump over walls, come out of the ground, or fall from the sky into that little area that you're fighting in. So they could just make it enemies just nonstop spawn, and then every wave they go, let's say the max level is level 50. Next wave, they're 51. The wave after that, they're level 52, 53, 54. And, it kind of just keeps going upwards and upwards and upwards until you can't handle it.
Very much like the Nazi zombies, or whatever it's called now.
For Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah, exactly. Not exactly like that, because the newer Call of Duty Zombies.
Forget the new one. Forget that one. Don't talk about that.
The newer ones, I have no idea what's going on. They're you need to go jump across the map, pick up a shovel, go break down a wall. I'm no.
We've not played that yet, but yeah, we do agree from what we've seen. It's not the classic zombies experience.
No.
But, no.
But yeah, I think with the classic experience, that's what we want to see, really, where every round the zombies get more health. And that can be the same with Outriders just, like you say, goes up a level each round, gets a little bit more difficult, and that would be quite fun.
Could you imagine if they actually took that formula and just made it into like a full on? You earn points for the amount of like damage that you actually deal. You can then spend your points on, I don't know, unlocking a new skill or something like that. You can go choose reflect bullets, and then there's an all-time Easter egg just to be able to finish off the level. That would just mess up Outriders.
Oh, you could buy you get like a score system, and you could pay money, like in-game money, to add a mod to your weapon. You could have 3 mods, 4 mods, 5 mods, and just infinitely go.
That would put the feeling of like when you first start the story back into it, though, wouldn't it? Because you could start off with a grey rifle, and then you could spend like a little bit of money just to be able to upgrade to a green rarity, and then to a blue rarity, etc., etc.
Or even to unlock your own equipment. So going back to Call of Duty, like Warzone, you could, get enough money to call in a loadout package to get your death shields or something like that. You know what?
The loadout's coming, guys. Get it.
Yeah, I'm actually loving this idea.
Lit as soon as this drops. Hold on.
Where are we dropping, boys?
Outriders.
Make it happen, people that fly.
Everyone's going to main Devastator. Everyone's going to main Devastator.
You just see a rock come flying at you from across the map, and just poof, instantly dead.
Well, the fun one when I mentioned it, I feel like I've had a conversation with this in the official Outriders before, when they say people have asked why isn't there a PvP mode, and I said, could you imagine the fact that there's everyone that can just put Golem up, and then I went, wait, no, you can go one better than that. Imagine playing as someone like on the enemy team being a trickster, and then teleports behind you and puts one shot back in your dome. I really hate this game.
I don't think PvP could work with a trickster. That's the problem.
Oh no, it wouldn't work with any of the classes, because you have Pyromancer, you just Ash Blast, everyone's frozen.
Yep.
You have Technomancer, just Cold Snap, everyone's frozen. Then you can just get sniped from across the map. Minigun, there you go. You'll never die. Like if you're fighting against someone who also has a minigun, like the round just goes on like infinitely, like never ending.
Could you imagine? Oh, the scenes.
Just horrible.
Oh, fair enough. Well, you did mention you had a few other ideas. I'm really interested. I mean, that's one that's completely out there. I don't think I've really heard that one before. So,
Warzone Outriders.
Hit us with what else you got.
Honestly, well, I guess it'd just be like the regular things, like more mods in the game, different types of weapons. Like I could see them adding a shotgun pistol, like a sawed-off double barrel shotgun for the pistol, and that would actually have use, because then you'd be able to put like Claymore, you could put Claymore Torrent, Shadow Comet, these strings of gauze, like anything to hit multiple enemies. So the pistols have a little bit more use, because like the only use they've ever had in this game is clip combustion and moaning winds.
Yes.
Like that is it. That is the only mods you put on it, and that is all it is good for. The firepower rating on them is horrible, so I'm hoping they could boost that up as well. And also just boost the other weapon other weapon variations. Like as like everyone knows, the burst rifle, like the burst fire variation on the rifle is the best. It just dominates the I guess like the fully automatic one. Like it beats it by a little bit just because of how much damage it does and its crit multiplier. Mm-hmm. But then you look at like the sharpshooter version, which is like the single fire one, its damage is like horrible. It does as much damage as the full auto assault rifle.
It has half the mag or less than half the mag. Yeah, what's the point? Yeah, it's just no need for it to be there. It's things like the master tool, literally you get no shout out because
I forgot about that.
No, definitely. I mean, I'd love to see them add more loot into the game, and definitely, I think that's one that's going to be top of everyone's list, and I really do hope they do add something more into there. I mean, they did a really good job with some of the stuff from New Horizons, and obviously, granted, they were just epics, but the cosmetic side of things and the transmog system, kind of really made that update. For those weapons to be viable, to be huntable in a way. So I'd love to see some more legendaries actually get added in. I'd love for them to go the Borderlands way as well. I mean, Borderlands dropped. Well, granted, Borderlands was always going to be a live service in a way that they already planned for DLCs and season passes and all that kind of thing. I get that, but obviously they have their version of a raid. So like the Malawan takedown, and I always forget what the other one is. But like really, really hard endgame content, like almost like Eye of the Storm, but if Eye of the Storm was extended to by like 5-6 times like its length, with other things mixed in. I'd love for them to be able to do something like that. Add in a mini boss, make it like a ridiculously long expedition, and then make it so you actually get a really nice payout at the end of it. I'd love for them to be able to go that kind of route.
Yeah, that's one thing that'd be really good to add, because every pod rescue, you can always beat it within 5 to like maximum 15 minutes, so you can blow through them very quickly. And then Yagak himself, you can kill him in like, you can beat the hardest rescue, like the hardest pod rescue in the game. Yeah. You can beat it in like 4 minutes. People have beat it 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, we need something like actually challenging and like lasting long. Like, I'd rather play something and fail 75 times at it, and like out of 100 times, just because of how difficult it was, rather than beat it every single time extremely easily. Like, that challenge is what makes it more rewarding once you do beat it.
So what is a suggestion, because I've just mentioned Borderlands, and this is the first time it's really kind of crossed my mind. When it comes to the BabbleOn takedown and the other takedown, you have a lever at the start that allows you to be able to access, like, change it. So instead of it being solo difficulty, it puts it to squad or quads. So it increases like the damage, it increases the health multipliers for all the enemies, almost as if you had 4 people with you, but you're just doing it solo. I mean, it'd be interesting if Outriders kind of went that way with, their in-game content. So you could actually really test out builds to see if they could carry like trios, for example. You could actually go, this is clearly the best build because it can handle health multipliers at 3 people squads, but it's just by itself, something like that.
Yeah, that would actually be really handy, because then, exactly as you said, you could test your build out, push it to the limits without having like 2 other people with you. Because usually when you do 2 other people with you, they're going to be attacking the enemies. They're going to be getting the enemy's attention. Like, everything's not focused on you. So if you could survive in those most stressful moments, that will definitely show what is the strongest build, what is the most effective, like what everyone should be using.
Yeah.
So that would be really great to see. Also, another thing I want to see are just more skills in general, like more skills for each characters, because yes, they do have, their fair share amount, but the thing is, there's always at least 2 or 3 skills that don't get touched at all on like each character. Like, people don't even bother with them. Like, there's just no point to it. Like, it's useless. Yeah. So I'd rather see them either one buff those skills a lot. Like, before we were talking about the minigun. Like, I almost never see anybody using the minigun. Maybe the rocket launcher variation here and there, but not so much with the minigun. So either buffing these skills or just creating new ones that are like similar but better, I guess.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, well, I'd love to see the Technomancer create an A10 Warthog, I suppose. So
calls it an airstrike. I can see that, actually.
Yeah, just summons a tank instead and just goes around as that. And I was like, but I suppose I'd like to see them. I don't say I'd like to see them. I suppose if they were to change some of them, I'd like to see them buff them. But if instead of having like infinite ones, I mean, there's been ideas thrown around of like blighted rounds and all the rounds kind of like base skills, because the fact that you can just get infinite ammo pretty much as long as you can just consistently refilling the magazine. It should be really designed as like a time-based thing, and kills potentially could have given you extra seconds, so it allows you to be able to like swap between the guns, because you have like a gun that's designed for mobbing and one that's designed for bossing, and you can just go around swapping between the two rather than just losing your rounds. And I think Technomancer kind of suffers the most from that, just for the fact that they have like a 40-second cooldown if it's reduced down enough. I mean,
yeah, it's a very
40
very
seconds
punishing.
on that.
Yeah, it's very punishing for them, but yeah.
But I think that kind of balances it, though, because you can do stupid amounts of damage with the Technomancer. Like, it's definitely the best class in the game for like damage output, like hands down. But they had to put something on it where it's like, okay, if you run out of these rounds, like, you need to be doing a lot less damage, because they do a crazy amount of damage. So it's like a high risk, high reward. Actually, I would say medium risk, high reward kind of thing, because it's a little bit difficult to run out of blighted rounds if you have your build set up correctly and you know what you're doing and stuff. It's not too hard to keep them going, but the damage output is crazy.
Definitely.
And then especially if you use like the Borealis set, you get like a 90% increased damage to frozen enemies. But the part, like, that's not the broken part about it. The broken part about that is that if your teammate has one as well, they stack on top of each other.
Yeah,
so if you have 3 people, like, you kill every enemy in like 2 bullets or something. Like, it just gets like out of hand and ridiculous.
Borealis set. The good old one.
So this may be a controversial thing to say, but I think they need to nerf the Borealis set so it doesn't stack on top of itself. Because when you have that running, like, everything is easy. Yagak, easy. Broodmothers are easy. Like, you could fight all 3 of them in the same area and you'd take them out within like 10 seconds. It's just way too...
is it? I feel like that is some kind of bug that's just kind of been overlooked. I can't imagine. I'm pretty sure I've looked at the wording on it, and I don't think it's suggests that everyone. The only thing that they should benefit from the rest of the squad members is the additional 10% critical damage when you activate Cold Wave or Cold Snap. Sorry. So it's like, clearly something's not working as intended.
Just another thing to add to the list.
Definitely. I mean, it's not breaking the game for the time being, I suppose. So
no.
Definitely hold on.
It's helping us. We can leave it here. Like I said, I'm not complaining about it and stuff. I'm just saying if there is one thing that would be that needs to get reasonably nerfed, it would probably be that there. But I'm still fine with it. I don't mind it. I don't mind having that much power when I'm running through pod rescues. Makes it easier for carrying.
You got any thoughts, Dan?
I don't think you've covered it really. Yeah, I do think Borealis is definitely overpowered, but whether that is a bug or a feature, whether it's going to be changed, who knows? I don't mind it being changed. I'm happy to see the meta change. I don't mind it shifting. I know a lot of people are against that because they have their builds that work. I mean, we have our videos on the builds that work. But it makes it more interesting for everyone, really. It would, A, give us more content to make, and B, give people more things to try. Try and learn the new meta and have a bit of fun with it that way.
Oh yeah, I'm on the same page as you. I'd rather them, like with the New Horizon update, just literally slash all of the legendary active set bonuses and just change them up for something else. Like, that would just give the game, that would literally give the game a fresh new feeling, because nobody would know what works the best with what. So everybody would be, they wouldn't be set back to like that stage 1 of the game. They'd be set back to like stage 5 of the game, where they have the armors, they have everything they need, but they just don't know what works well with what. Like a puzzle, basically. Like if they change the Borealis set, let's say, I don't know, let's say it does double, like you do double damage with the minigun, let's say. So people will be like, okay, so it does double damage with the minigun. Now, what else can I add to like make this better, to give it more AoE damage, give it more single target damage, like keep up with the ammo? Like it would just change up everything completely, which would be such a nice feeling. And as you're saying, it would bring a lot more content. You'd be able to make so many more videos because there'd just be so many more potential build ideas.
Mm-hmm. So it would ruin what we've already made. So you could make a video today showing it, and then tomorrow go, right, now we need to revisit this. But
that's it. Taking
down
the whole channel.
It happens in everything. You look at Call of Duty. You could say mid-season or in the middle of the Modern Warfare era, you could say, well, the Kilo is the best gun in the game. Make videos on what builds to have with that gun. And then you come to the next season, you go, well, that video is pointless now. Let's make a new one on the shotgun.
Well, you know what the thing is that it's actually not as pointless as you may think it be. Because yes, the meta changes. Let's say they nerf the damage of it. Yeah, that gun's not going to be the best pick. But you made a video on it, like using like the best attachments for it to give yourself the best chances with it.
True.
So that video now becomes like, instead of the best weapon, the best attachments for this weapon, for like the second best weapon or something. It just becomes a different kind of video afterwards.
Yeah, so you could still keep that with Outriders. You could say, yeah, this isn't the meta skill set now, but this is the best way to use these skills. So yeah, I can see that actually.
Yeah, it's exactly like, it just changes the idea of it. Like, you know, it sucks if you have like the best like build ever or something, and then it gets changed. You're kind of like, oh, well, there goes that. But you kind of just got to grab the positives of it. It's like, okay, So now it's not the best build out there now. It's something else. But now I can make an additional video. So instead of just having that one video, you now have 2 videos of the best weapon and then something, like the best attachments for this weapon.
Yeah.
So it just kind of gives you more. It just gives you more content to work with to keep pushing forward, basically.
So we mentioned like changing the current legendary sets that we already have in, but would you prefer they changed it altogether and it's just the same? Well, we have 4 legendary sets for each character, and obviously the miscellaneous ones that obviously each character can kind of obtain, or would you prefer that the 4 stayed the same, but we actually saw, let's say for example, another 4 for each character on top of that actually had different things? Because I've mentioned before that I'd love to see like some armor sets that are designated for pretty much each of the skills. That way that if you wanted to be able to go for something, then like a specific skill, you can have something that boosts it up. So for like torrential downpour, you go, oh well, I really fancy scrapnels. I absolutely love the idea of scrapnels and just chucking grenades everywhere. Then you've got that gear set bonus that's dedicated for that. But then what if there was one that was dedicated towards the minigun, which was, okay, granted we have the Grim Inventors, but that's just refilling ammo. What if we had something that just transformed the minigun into something a little bit better? I'm spitballing ideas, but like gave it a damage increase of 20% and allowed you to be able to gain the ability to sprint. And I'd be happy with that as a legendary set bonus, to be honest with you. I'd probably try rocking that. But would you like new ones, or would you just prefer that the old ones just going to change?
If that's the case, new ones all the way. Just because if that's a scenario, why would you get rid of the old ones? If you could keep the old and get new ones, like you have the old ones to play with, and then you have the new legendary sets as well. And then who knows, maybe they have other mods on them, like newer mods in the game, and maybe those newer mods might work better with those older legendary armor sets. So you can kind of make the builds better. If that's the case, then I would definitely take the new, keep the old, rather than just like rearrange the old ones.
100%. I think with that as well, you're not actually creating new content. You are and you aren't. You're deleting stuff to add new stuff in, and I don't think anyone would be happy with that in the slightest. Like I'll go back to Call of Duty. Like if you took out the kilo and said, right, we don't have this anymore. Instead, you've got a butter knife. You'd be angry.
Yeah, that's a pretty good analogy of it. Yeah.
I just got the idea that I've just thought of an extra thing just to be able to go on that like legendary set bonus that I've just made up on the spot, but allow you to sprint and fire at the same time. So you could just go like a madman sprinting around with a mini.
Sprinting with the mini. Or hey, what about 2 miniguns?
Oh, even better. Oh, I love this now.
What about hang on. What about miniguns for arms?
Oh. It's getting better.
That's it. We've figured out the new meta right there. There we go. You've heard it first here on Outside.
Double miniguns or double rocket launchers, one for each shoulder.
What about both? You got minigun arms and minigun shoulder mount. Rocket launcher shoulder mounts.
Stepping into
I feel like you just become that big robot. You just become like a big transformer at that point. You just press a button, your shoulders like do a little backflip, and like 2 rocket launchers come out. Your arms like get sucked in, and like a minigun barrel comes out.
Legendary set bonus: press tools of destruction to turn into a Gundam. Hold on a second.
I was thinking more. Is it Android 16? Let me just hang on.
Are you talking Dragon Ball Z now?
I am, yeah. Is it? Yeah, Android 16 where it takes his arms off.
I was thinking just like Optimus Prime, just turn into a truck while you're fucking at it.
There we go. If PCF are listening, hold on. This is what we're after. This is what the community wants. We speak for the whole community, and don't think any otherwise.
Hey guys, please add Optimus Prime as a playable character. No one would know. The thing is that if they added it, everyone would be like a little, why is this here? But then they kind of be like, you know what? I like it being here, though. I don't know why, but I like it, though.
We need to know both. We need both as the truck and the robot.
Exactly. Like when you're running around, like you transform into a truck, and then when you're about to fight, you do like a little backflip, and then you're a person.
Oh, there you go. 1st of April update right there. There you go. That's what you need.
It's just like Fortnite when they add like It's like, oh, you could play as Superman, you could play as Spider-Man, and you could play as Batman and stuff. It's like Outriders, you can play as Optimus Prime. All right,
Instant
throw a
Fortnite
little-
killer. There we go.
Make it happen. Square Enix, you've got the money.
There we go. All right, so after the launch of the game about 10 months ago, we've seen the highs and lows of Outriders. Do you think it's going to go back the same way again, or do you think it's a bit too late for the masses to kind of like come back? Because obviously saw it's like 100k. No, 100k?
125k, I think, in the first day. That obviously rapidly dropped down to what we at some point, like 700 players each day as the peak.
I mean, what's it currently? I haven't checked in a while.
So when we got New Horizon, I think that did jump back up to it was like 7,000-8,000 or something.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll be back at the 100k, back at the 7k? Do you think it's too little, too late? Obviously, that's going off. We don't know what's in there yet, but forget the too little. Is it too late?
Honestly, I'm saying it's just going to be the exact same thing as New Horizon. Because like before New Horizon came out, the game was dying. There was not that many people. Like it was in its lows, like very lows. And as soon as New Horizon came, which was I would say it was a very big not very big, but pretty big update, adding like the transmod situation, fixing a bunch of bugs and stuff, and then also adding new pod rescues. So I would say that was a pretty big one. And if it shot up to 1,000, like I'm pretty sure it said it increased by 1,000%. So yeah, from 700 to 7,000. I can definitely see the same thing happening again with New Horizon. If they add even more stuff, then not New Horizon. If they World Slayer, if they add even more stuff than what they did with New Horizon. Like, let's say instead of 4 new pod rescues, like 8 new pod rescues, new bosses, new weapons, new armors, new mods, like all that kind of stuff. I could see it shooting up even further than how much it did with New Horizon. Just because everyone's going to want to make content on that stuff. So it's going to spread like awareness. People are going to be like, oh, hey, there's a new update. Maybe I'll come back to this game and see what it's about. And then that's the factor, is just how good is that update going to be? If it's going to be good enough, it's going to bring everybody back for a while. And then it's going to be the same thing as New Horizon. After about a couple of weeks, maybe a month, once everybody's burned through the new DLC and update, it's just gonna drop back down. Unless they add some new crazy game mode like a horde mode in ranked, where it adds more meaning for you playing the game.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I think it's just going to shoot all the way back up. Maybe not to like 100,000 at launch. I don't think it'll be back at that stage, but it'll definitely shoot back up. And then, slowly go down again after a couple of weeks. And at that point, I have no idea. They could either try to make another DLC for it, but I can't see it succeeding like a third time, like just going up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Like I can't see it doing well. What I would want them to do is after that DLC, I guess just like cut the game, like just stop working on it and work on like a second Outriders. Yeah. Like, hey, this is a second Outriders, and just add like 2 times more than what they did in this one.
Yeah.
And like actually make it work when it launches though. Like don't delete everybody's inventory, make mods work, fix the server issues, like all that kind of stuff.
It's definitely a learning experience, isn't it? What happened with the launch? I mean, it was pretty disastrous, wasn't it? It's a real shame that it did go the way it did, but it was, we kind of have to be honest with ourselves. It kind of was a bit disastrous on the end of things.
It's not what they expected. I don't think they expected the sheer numbers. I mean,
definitely not.
The 125,000 that we talk about is purely based on PC on Steam.
Yep.
So you've then got to, let's just assume consoles are the same. That's another 125k, say, for Xbox, another 125k for PlayStation. Possibly more on Xbox as well, because it came out free, didn't it? Well, it came as part of Game Pass on day one. So that could be even higher than that.
Yes.
So they had all that to contend with on a brand new game that they probably didn't expect to get the 125k PC players to start. They might have maybe expected that across the board. So there were definitely sort of swinging in the deep end there. But I think with the improvements that they have brought out with New Horizon, because New Horizon was never about adding new content. It was always about fixing the game, but giving that a little bit extra for you to do. So the three, is it three, four, three?
I think it's four or five
yeah,
new progress.
four new expeditions were in a way a bonus and to say thank you for sticking with us.
Yeah.
So I think what they're going to do with the new DLC, by the sounds of it, they've been working on it for quite a while. It's going to be something a lot bigger. It's more focused on the content than it is the fixing of the game. They've got the game where they want it to be, so they are going to focus more on adding content that we actually want. So that's where Horde mode, which they are 100% aware people want. So I think it's almost a guarantee that we are getting that. And then things like the raids, they're again aware of that, but whether or not it's something they could implement now, who knows? But
it's kind of
this
difficult with
is more
peer-to-peer,
about the content of this one. So we are going to see a lot more content. So the longevity of it, let's say, might be sort of 2 or 3 times longer than what it was with New Horizon, hopefully, if not more.
Fingers crossed, eh?
Yeah, fingers crossed. That's the main thing.
I think it's a good take that I mean, after World Slayer, that they should start the second one. I think that's. I mean, as much as I'd love to see Outriders
continue and just
continue,
like grow and grow, but yeah,
I think it is a good call that I think that they kind of need to take that step a bit more serious after seeing the numbers that come back for World Slayer. Because let's say only 10k. I say only 10k, but like 10k players come back. I mean, the game's currently sitting at 2.2k players on Steam at the moment. Currently playing.
That's decent. To be fair, for the numbers
still,
you were getting.
Yeah, it's definitely decent, and there's people that are starting to tease their way back into playing Outriders because New Horizons, and I mean, new people keep joining the official Outriders Discord every day just to be able to ask questions. Is it better now? Is it So there's people that are still interested in Outriders, which is great to see. But
that's 3 times the amount on Steam than before, and also we've got the fact that it's now on PC Game Pass as well.
Yes.
So that you've got to take that into account. So that could be another 2,000. It could be more
potentially.
So
it's good to see that the desire for Outriders is still there. But World Slayer will tell us if the DLC is enough by itself to keep that desire there, or if they do actually need to bring out like a brand new title to be able to bring the masses back. But yeah, you're definitely right in terms of like the connectivity issues and all that kind of thing. I'm pretty confident that PCF will have learned from that, because for a game to have done so well and then instantly dropped off just like that, you kind of have to instantly take that as a learning experience, really, don't you? So to never let that ever happen again, really. I mean, this is their first like real main IP from what I could tell. I've just had a quick look around. I mean, I've seen they've done a Gears of War game. They did Bulletstorm, and Bulletstorm was obviously a
fun game,
a well-known game, but it wasn't like AAA as such, I don't think. But
brilliant game.
They've done a little. Oh yeah, but they've done a little bit of work on Fortnite as well, by the looks of things. But they've never like gone for a AAA game in a way, and I feel like the Outriders was their first attempt at that, and they've seen the success, but due to that success, they've also kind of failed, I suppose. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how World Slayer will affect those numbers. I really hope people actually take notice of it and actually do give it another go because of it. But
people are for sure. I can call it right now. People are going to do it because it's the same thing with New Horizon. Nobody was playing it. New Horizon came out. Boom, the player count shot up to the sky again. Everyone was playing it, enjoying it. They burned through the content. After they burned through the content, they're just back at the phase before New Horizon launched. There's nothing else to do in the game. I have my builds. I played the new pod rescues. I've had a fun time here and there, and that's it. Like there's nothing else for me. So then they just hop back off, and yeah.
The one thing I will say is, from like we mentioned it last week, there's not all that much dead game going around now, is there?
Definitely not.
I think they've seen that that they've done an update and they know a new one is coming out, and people are almost satisfied with that at the moment, knowing that something new will come out. and they're happy to wait at the moment as well, by the looks of things.
Yeah, because I'd rather, even if it didn't come out in April, like if it came out, like if it came out like May, June or something, it might be a little bit too late for the game, but I would still rather it take longer and be like filling, like have everything it needs to it, than just cut corners, release it short, and just have more bugs, more issues, and all that kind of stuff.
And I think the further away from Borderlands or Tiny Tina's it actually does release is probably better for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because as soon as those get like Tiny Tina drops, everybody's gonna jump to that there as like the new looter shooter and stuff.
Definitely.
Like I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna jump to that as well when that comes out.
Yeah, if you wanna,
definitely.
If you wanna, team up at any point, we'll be on it.
Hey, I'm always up for it.
It's I think Tiny Tina's is dropping 25th March, I think, if I remember right top of my head.
Sounds about right. It's definitely end of March, 25th, 28th, something like that.
So the more weeks they can technically put between that launching and obviously World Slayer being released, technically would be better for them, I suppose. So just gives people time to grind out what Tiny Tina's is and then decide they want to move on to something a little bit different, I guess. So, but yeah, fair enough. Good. Sounds good. So I guess that kind of answers the last question that we sent to you, and mixed into the second one, I suppose, because we did ask you about the DLC. So I guess. Well, I mean, is that if Dan's got any other questions that you'd like to ask? I mean,
no, I think that was it. That's our plan questions. I haven't really thought of anything else as of yet, but. Unless maybe what are you planning on doing in the future, sort of thing.
That was going to be my next one. Yeah. What's next for Divine Games in that sense then?
Well, next up, I still have a few Outriders ideas, so I might have like a few more videos on this game before I take a break and jump onto Elden Ring.
Yep.
Just because I see I could still get a few videos out of this game that with builds that will still work really well. But then after that, I don't want to like kind of post like, hey, here is a kind of a fun build but not effective at all build. Like I don't want to just drag it on kind of thing.
Okay.
So I'm going to jump into Elden Ring, hopefully try out a new series that I think it's going to do really well in it, but obviously time will tell. See how that goes. And then after Elden Ring, when's that going to be? Then after Elden Ring, I'm hoping I can get enough videos out with it to get me till either the launch of World Slayer with Outriders, so I can jump back onto it, see what's new in the game, make some videos on it, have some fun with it, and just play around with that there. So I'm kind of just taking a break with Outriders for a little bit after.
Okay.
And then when Tiny Tina's Wonderland, I think.
Yep.
I keep butchering the name, but when that drops, then I'm gonna jump into that there. That's gonna get like my full attention, I would say. And just along the way, just constantly improving my videos, seeing what I can do better. And yeah, that's just like the main gist of it. Just keep on doing better, jumping onto new videos and learning more.
Awesome. Cool. I guess, I guess that pretty much kind of like covers everything we really had planned. So I guess that means this section is to obviously introduce yourself to everyone, and where can people find you if they want to actually know more about Divine Games. So do you have like socials or any or anything like that?
Yeah, it's mainly just the YouTube, but you already have that in the description. That's just my main thing for streaming videos. I haven't been doing too much with the Instagram or Twitter and stuff, just because, I don't know, I found it like a little bit difficult to manage that there, and I haven't seen too much success. So I'd rather like put my time, like the time that I put into that there, into like making my videos better. Yeah,
I get that. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I think as a solo person, it's all on your shoulders to do everything, isn't it? So definitely, if you can focus in one area, it probably is better than splitting your resources. But yeah, let's say if you have a Twitter or anything you want to share, by all means, shout it out. Do you have your Discord?
Oh yeah, I have a Discord. Yeah.
So people can hop into your Discord. I assume that'll be on your YouTube anyway, won't it? So yeah, pop over there, click all the links, click subscribe, and see some fun builds.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out where to find the server link. I'm not great with Discord, so this is usually a struggle for me.
If you right-click the server itself and then right-click and then I cannot see it.
Well, let's sort that out. I mean, we've currently got quite a few people watching. I mean, if anyone's got any
Invite
questions that they want to ask ourselves, or if they want to ask Divine, feel free to drop those in the chat right now. But if obviously people aren't necessarily interested, then we'll just kind of call it there. But feel free to ask away.
So we didn't have too many questions today, to be fair, did we? I mean, there's a few Arcanist weapon mods in the sense of changing the weapon like old WoW, double spec in the sense of fire and ice.
Ooh,
I
like
quite like actually seeing that where you could like a hot swap between skills, but then that would also be with your armor and your weapons as well, unfortunately. So we do need some sort of armory kind of thing with that. That's something we're hoping for ourselves. I think that they are aware of that as well. So fingers crossed we get something like that.
I was actually thinking of a. I've heard that somebody mentioned this in my chat when I was streaming before, but like a character that can control like all the elements. So like some of his skills will be like fire related, some of them will be like ice related, some of them will be like toxic related, like just like a multi-elemental kind of character, I guess.
Not good at anything, but not bad at not a master of anything. Sorry, should I say not good at anything. Not a master of anything, but sort of has
just like a jack of all trades.
Yeah, that could be quite an interesting one. I'd like to see something like an electric kind of class as well. Maybe something like a bit of a darker class, something that's a bit like Dark Sacrifice, where you lose health. So maybe like use your health as a sacrifice to do more damage and stuff like that.
Like a void kind of class.
Yeah, so like lose 25% of your health, but deal 1 million damage or something, or send out.
Oh, there you go.
Send
out.
I mean, that
sorry,
can work.
to interrupt you.
No, that's right.
There's so many armor mods that work when you're under 30% health, but there's no way to kind of trigger it by yourself. So that could be a nice.
Yeah, if you get yourself down to 30% health by using your spells or whatever, skills, and then you you get 30%
melee
activate it.
Because there's that one that gives you 300% melee damage when you're under 30% health. I'd love to see that one.
Saying with that, you are just literally having to stand in a horde of enemies and hope that they don't quite kill you. You do have the things where it will like activate freeze around you, won't it, and stuff like that. 30%. I know I use that when we play through the story quite a bit because that's quite good to save your life. Yeah, it'd be excellent to see something like that actually on a meet.
I'd love to see like a necromancer class. Like whenever you kill an enemy, like he revives, he gets like.
Can you imagine having a zombie broodmother?
Yeah, that's what I mean. And like he could have like one of his skills would be like he revives like a broodmother or behemoth, but it has like a 1 minute cooldown or something. So it's like you can use it once, and let's say it lasts for like 30, 45 seconds, I would say. So you use it once, and then it has like its long
puppeteering. So you actually take control of a broodmother for a minute or something. So you can mind control, use that broodmother, run around, kill everything, and then you lose that control.
I'd like a charm version, if that makes sense. So you're still fighting, but you can actually turn an enemy into your side.
Oh, so like a weapon mod, like you hit like shots on an enemy, like make them question what team they're on, and they just start like hitting their friends and stuff.
That'd be pretty on a shotgun.
Oh my god! Just hit like 8 enemies at once. Like, all right, this is a war zone. Just watch. They got to do nothing here.
You hit a whole horde apart from one of Perforos as they run towards you, and the other one just gets bum rushed by every other Perforo.
You make it like you go to fight Yaga, can you just shoot all the Reapers and just have it like a 4v1 on him?
See how you like it.
Just instantly stun locked, like never moving.
Amazing. I'd love to see Harbinger Hammer. Harbinger Hammer, Under of Heads on your team. It just goes and kills everyone else.
The problem with that, I'd say, is that Yagak and Harbinger Hammer are the bosses that if you kill them, it pretty much ends the game. pretty much kills everything around it, doesn't it, with them? So I can't see it working with them, but everything else, I think that would be brilliant. Just going, Warlord, help me out. Oh, you, help me out. Reaper, over here.
Actually, just
orbs and healing was all that. Yeah.
A really good challenge that would actually probably be extremely annoying. What if they just put like every boss in the game just into one room, and they're like, "Okay, this is your challenge. We'll fight them all, clear it, and we'll give you a nice reward."
Oh, jeez.
You'd have like Paxian, Yagak.
Who's that?
Hate
That
Detonator
shaman.
the best of times.
So that shaman that takes like 4 days to kill.
He's not even a boss.
Yeah, he's just like a special enemy, but like he's stronger than most bosses.
He's worse than Yagak, and he's not even a boss.
So you'd have like Yagak, the spider, the shaman, Paxian. What other bosses are in this game? Dr. Doomsday or Detonator.
Detonator, yeah. Oh, his blooming floor blow up thing.
Oh,
and yeah, like you just have like
every
7
single
bosses.
brood mother that you come across.
Every
Moloch
different
teleporting around the room. Oh, could you imagine? Oh. Well, Juan's got a really good comment here. I still have to see Divine speedrunning Cooking Mama. So, I mean, are you interested in speedrunning Cooking Mama?
I actually have no idea what that is.
I think it's the one where you actually have to work together with another person to be able to.
Is it that
satisfy orders.
4-player? Oh no, it's on the Nintendo Switch.
It's kind of like you can mess around with your teammates as well to be able to like hinder them, but it's all about like each one like kind of like looks after a station. You have to. It's manic as hell. It really is.
It's not on PC, unfortunately.
I mean, I'm not good at speed running, but I got like Cooking Mama, where you can like mess with other people when you're playing with it. That kind of sounds like my game.
I think it might not be what you're thinking, Chris. I think it's a different one you're thinking of.
What am I thinking of?
The one with the giant onion is what you're thinking of, aren't you?
Oh, I'm thinking Overcooked.
Overcooked, yeah.
What's Cooking Mama then?
I'm sorry, what's this game about a giant onion? You just like skip past it. No, the game with the giant onion. Like,
what was that called? Overcooked.
I was thinking Overcooked. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I was thinking initially. But yeah, Cooking Mama is Nintendo Switch and PlayStation. It's a console game basically. But yeah, Overcooked. That could be a fun game to play.
Overcooked's a really good like party game. To be fair, it's yeah. But, fair enough then. Cool, yeah. Well, in that case, I'm fairly happy with how this is going. Is there anything you want to add, Divine? Is there anything you feel like you missed, or
is there anything you wanted to talk about? Did you think, I've got a question, or?
I mean, maybe you've got questions for us. So it's up to you.
You guys asked me what my plans are for the future. What are your plans for the future of your channel? New videos and new games?
After today, we're closing the channel down.
Going purely podcast now.
Tiny Tina, obviously.
Tiny Tina is huge.
That's definitely one for us to go for. Synced Off Planet. It's a really fun one that we can't talk anything about.
No release date yet on that one, but yeah.
Oh, is that the one where it's a battle royale with robots?
Yes. It also has PvE in it as well. So
yeah,
we can't
PvP,
talk too much, but there's PvE, there's PvP, and there's PvEVP.
Yeah, because I saw a little bit of footage on it, but I haven't like really heard or seen anything too much.
Yeah,
so that's another game I forgot about that I was interested.
Yeah, it's one we're waiting for that to come out, or another alpha or beta to come out. Hopefully, one that we can then talk about.
Highly recommend keeping your eyes peeled for that, especially I believe you're a PC player as well, aren't you, Divine?
Yep.
I highly recommend keeping an eye out on their socials just to see if any more keys are actually going to be dropping on that. So
Lost Ark as well. I think we're going to jump onto that because it is free to play.
Yeah, we'll give that a go.
I'm half tempted to buy one of the Founders Packs as well, possibly. Jump on that a bit early as well. What else have we got?
There's not much coming out really. To be fair, this stars obviously Dying Light released a couple of days ago, but it's kind of been a bit mixed. Some people are saying it's a buggy mess. Some people are saying it's really good. So
I've enjoyed what I've played so far. The problem I think I find with the reports on it's a buggy mess is that all of these reports are coming out pre-release, and there were around about 1,000 fixes on day one that came out. So people who got the game early were playing it going, "Oh, this is a buggy mess. I hate it." I said, "Well, try reviewing it once it's been released." But definitely, I think I've seen videos on it and I've played it myself, and so far I'm enjoying it. It's really fluid and fun. So I might do something on that as well. At the minute, we've got quite a few different games that I've got videos to make for. Videos, I mean, I've got like World of Towers that I've been given a key for. I still need to do stuff on that. Chorus, which came out last year. We just got given a key for that, so I need to check that out at some point. But yeah, mostly indie games coming out soon. And then a few of the big ones, like say the Dying Light, Tiny Tina's Synced.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily as interested in Elden Ring. I might keep an eye on it, just see what the reviews are like. I might even just check out a couple of your videos, to be completely honest with you, Divine, and then make my mind up from that. But it's not really sold it for me, just because I'm not a Souls type game.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it's been advertised, as far as I'm aware. So
it looks exactly like Dark Souls, but just like more open world is what I would say.
I do enjoy the Dark Souls genre, to be fair. I never actually completed any of them, to be honest, because I don't know. It's one of those games that
complete them.
Yeah, you can complete them. You can get to the final bonfire. But I enjoyed it. I played every single one of them, but never finished them. I always got probably about halfway through them. But I thought they were a great concept, but bloody hard.
Yeah, that's the thing. Either one, you play it, you get pissed off, and then you never play it again, or you play it for another like 8 hours straight until you beat it. It's always like one or the other. I've been on the receiving end of both of those.
I mean, I've seen people do like what's it like? What One Life runs through it and stuff.
All of those.
People have done One Life runs using a bloody Guitar Hero controller.
Well, I've seen people do. I think one person has done a run where they don't take any damage at all, or they don't get hit by any enemy, and he played it using the Donkey Kong bongos.
Yes, I've seen about that. I haven't seen it, but I've seen about it.
I watched like a little clip of it, and I'm like, I wonder how many attempts this guy has done to try to beat this game with a pair of Donkey Kong.
Can you
bongos.
imagine getting to the last boss and getting hit once?
That's where I don't have the patience. Like when people do speed running, like they have some crazy amount of patience and stuff. Because like the smallest mistake, and you have to restart everything.
Yeah,
that is something we need to talk to Play-Doh Bear about. I think because he does a lot of the speed running, doesn't he?
Yes.
Be good to see what his mindset is on that. For me, I don't think I have the patience to necessarily run through the same expedition. I'm going to say 1,000 times to learn the best tactics, the enemy spawn points, etc., and just memorize them and work out what the best process is. Because I mean, you as soon as you mess up once, you're just going to be so pissed off, aren't you?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, the guy I'm pretty confident I saw the other day. He said he had 1,600 hours in it. And I was just like, Jesus, that's
1,600. I thought I had a lot at like 750. 1,600. This guy had, at that point, you definitely memorized like the spawn location of every enemy in every pod rescue and the campaign.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And people say there isn't enough content in Outriders, honestly. I mean, 1,600 hours. I've got just a little bit more than that in Rocket League, and that's PvP.
And that's over 5 years.
That's
6
over
years.
5 years.
7 years.
Something like
2015.
Damn.
That's 1,600 hours. Oh. I mean, fair play to him. Dedication, definitely there. But
dedication,
definitely going to
more than there with that much.
So yeah, definitely looking forward to some of the answers when we get him on. So Divine, obviously you've put your feelers out there in the community. We've got a few people that we've got lined up for these shows. We've got NYL Casual Gaming. We've got Play-Doh Bear. Is there anyone else that from your perspective, that you feel like would kind of meet the criteria? Would like to, we should reach out to as outsiders to be able to ask if they'd be interested to take part in this kind of like podcast kind of thing?
Honestly, I feel like the Full Measure would probably be a good take, just because he has both positive and like he looks at the game realistically. Like he has the positive views on it and he has like the negative views on it. Like he's not just one-sided. Like he's made build videos, like update videos. So I feel like he would be I feel like he'd be a good person to ask about this. He's not just like, oh, like Outriders is the greatest game. There's nothing wrong with it. And he's also not like Outriders is horrible. It's a buggy game. Never played and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's just what I feel like.
And he has a beautiful beard. But no, definitely. I remember he went onto one of the Cloud Players, it's a podcast that he did, and he did rip into the game, but for good reason. For not just being, and not to mention any names, but there are definitely people out there that are born to moan about stuff.
Yeah.
And he did it because of the passion for the game.
Yeah.
So definitely he wants to see it succeed, and he wants to highlight the areas where it can improve. So definitely he's definitely someone that is on our mind as well. I assume he'd be up for it. We haven't asked him just yet, but I assume he would be up for it. If he's watching, then are you up for it?
We kind of held off initially, or I mean, we kind of held it because we wanted it to be, small channels like ourselves, and obviously like yourself, and all that kind of thing. The ones that Outriders has kind of made into a decent sized community and all that kind of thing. We wanted it to be showing that all the smaller creators that don't really necessarily get a look in actually have that chance, that opportunity to, kind of speak up and actually, get to know other people, and also network in a way, so we can get to know some, some other channels that are like-minded and all that kind of thing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's absolutely
someone
fine.
who'd be perfect for this. He doesn't post YouTube videos, but he does like stream it. Like I think streams Outriders every day.
Okay.
To be like, it'd definitely be I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. We have a great relationship with him. Yeah. Well, I've popped into a few of his streams, and guy's always so polite, and he was gobsmacked the one time. He said he made it out like we were a massive celebrity or something like that. We just popped into his stream, and it was just like, what's going on here? I was almost blushing just from actually being in the chat, but it might be worth a shout. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen much of him when he's popped over to Twitch, but I did notice he was pulling in a fair few viewers, so could be worth a shout. To be fair, it might be something to put on our list. To be fair, they're done.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're in a chat with him at the minute, aren't we? I can't check. Close.
Well, I've got him somewhere. I have him somewhere, so that's absolutely fine. I'll tell you what. I'll make a note of it. But no, I appreciate that, Divine. And I guess if there's nothing else, I guess we can pretty much wrap it up there, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we covered about everything with the game, like what it needs to be done, what it can be better in, how it's doing well. And
we'll probably do. I'd like to do future ones of these with the same people again as well. So if we get any new information, I don't want to say leaks really, but if we do get any leaks, I'd much rather things stay secret until the last day. And I don't know how to say this without saying that I'd like to do a playtest if one comes out, but also want to keep it secret. I don't like to know spoilers. If something comes out that we can talk about, definitely have you back on if you're up for that.
I would love to.
But I did quite enjoy this format anyway, so I'm happy to keep this going for as long as we can do. Get more people on, different people on, but also the revisit if anything new comes up with yourself or with the game, etc. So I assume you're happy with that as well, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe even next time we'll actually be speaking to you as ambassador to ambassador. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, hopefully. I gotta send them that email. Thanks for the reminder, though. Almost on my mind right now.
Yeah, I mean, even if we get a chance to, we'll even drop something to Toby or something like that. We'll give it a go.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Cool, yeah. Right, in that case, I think we should wrap it all up there. So thank you so much, Divine. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day and your weekend just to be able to pop onto here. And I hope you've had a good time.
No, thanks for having me here. This was definitely fun. If you guys want to do this again in the future, like after the World Slayer update, I would be all up for it. Or even just working on future content together.
Yeah, 100%. I don't see any reason why not.
I mean, we all play the same games, or by the time very similar games, so 100% I'm down for anything. I'll play any genre, so Chris really. Whether we'll be good at something, who knows? But that could be part of the fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thank you everyone that's tuned into the stream. Really does mean a lot. And hopefully we'll catch you on the next episode of Outsiders. I'm not too sure if we've got someone lined up confirmed just yet, but I think I will be able to sort some out. And you definitely don't want to miss the next one. So just keep an eye out for the reminders, and over on our Discord, over on our socials, and also on our YouTube channel. And make sure you head over to Divines as well.
And don't forget to subscribe to both of us.
Definitely, 100%.
Cool. Well,
Awesome.
keep yourself safe.
All right, well, yeah.
Keep yourself
I guess I'll see you guys sometime then. We'll be in the Discord. Stay in touch.
Definitely, 100%. We will be
in the next video.
All right, you guys have a good. Today's Sunday? Yeah, today's Sunday. I guess have a good end to the weekend.
Unfortunately, yes.
What, having a good end to the weekend? Hold on.
I'd rather it be the start of the weekend, to be fair.
Have a good last bit of the weekend is what I mean.
Yeah, you too.
Same to you.
All right, see you guys.
See you later.
Have a good one. See ya. Bye.
Well, that's fun. Oh, let's mess up the cameras now. But yeah, we'll end the stream there. Thanks for watching. You can see the top of my head, so see the top of Chris's head. Keep yourself safe. Keep yourself well. We'll see you in the next video.